So I am just checking my Audacity. So
Yes,
if it
ma'am. It's
is
very
okay, I
clear.
will be joining later. Thank you so
It's
much.
very
Yeah.
clear. It's very clear, ma'am.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Stop.
என்கிட்ட முடியாதுன்னு சொல்லலடா. இப்ப என்ன அவன் கன்ஃபார்ம் இல்லையா? யாரு? சரி ஓகே. சரி. இல்ல அது சைமல்டேனியஸா இது பண்ணிக்கலாம். நம்ம எதை பிரிண்ட் பண்றாங்களோ அதை பிரிண்ட் பண்ணிக்கலாம். இப்ப சக்தி மேம் பண்றாங்களா? அவங்க ஊருக்கு கிளம்புறாங்கல்ல, ஊருக்கு கிளம்புறாங்க. ம். சரி, ஓகே. இல்ல மேம் பண்ண முடியுமான்னு கேட்டுக்கோ. ஏன்னா டெக்னிக்கல் டீம் நம்ம தான். ம். சரி, ஓகே. சரி, ஓகே.
Welcome, Mr. Ketan.
Hello, hi to everyone. Good evening to all of you.
Good evening, sir. Good evening.
Am I audible?
Yeah, yes, sir. You're audible. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Good evening to one all present here. On behalf of the organizing committee, the PG and Research Department of English, Fatima College, Madurai, I warmly welcome you all to day 4 of a one-week virtual faculty development program on Indian knowledge system, embedded sustainable education for digital natives. As we begin today's session, let us pause in reflection and seek the grace and blessing of the Almighty.
All things bright and beautiful, all creatures great and small, all things wise and wonderful, the Lord God made them all. Each little flower that opens, each little bird that sings, God made their glowing colors and made their tiny wings. All things bright and beautiful, all creatures great and small, all things wise and wonderful, the Lord God made them all. The purple-headed mountains, the river running by, the sunset and the morning that brightens up the sky. All things bright and beautiful, all creatures great and small, all things wise and wonderful, the Lord God made them all.
Thank you for illuminating our hearts to this prayer song. I now invite our moderator for the day, Ms. A. Devasuda, Assistant Professor, PG and Research Department of English, to welcome the gathering and formally introduce our esteemed resource person.
Good evening to everyone gathered here. For the Lord gives wisdom, from his mouth come knowledge and understanding. Proverbs chapter 2, verse 6. With this inspiring verse reminding us that true wisdom is a divine gift and that knowledge is meant to enlighten, transform, and uplift. I extend a very warm and heartfelt welcome to everyone gathered here for this faculty development program on IKS Embedded Sustainable Learning for Digital Natives, organized by the PG and Research Department of English, Fatima College, Madurai. In an age where digital natives shape the future and where sustainability and Indian knowledge systems must meaningfully blend with modern pedagogy, this program stands as a timely and visionary academic initiative. At the outset, we humbly place on record our deep gratitude and appreciation to our respected management, Reverend Dr. Ignatius Mary, our secretary, and Reverend Dr. Fatima Mary, our principal, who continue to be the guiding pillars of our college. Their constant encouragement and academic vision and unwavering support have made this program possible, and we acknowledge their invaluable contribution with sincere thanks. It is now my privilege to welcome Dr. Kristi Shanti, Head of the PG and Research Department of English, whose leadership, dedication, and scholarly guidance have been instrumental in shaping this program. We are grateful for her inspiring presence and commitment to academic excellence. Welcome you, ma'am. Today, we are honored to have with us an eminent academician and a distinguished scholar as our chief guest. It is our pleasure to welcome Dr. Ketan B. Vyas, Associate Professor of English, Sri G.K. and C.K. Bosamia Arts and Commerce College, Jaipur, to this insightful and enriching program. Dr. Vyas brings with him an exceptional academic journey spanning over 3 decades of teaching experience at the UG and PG levels. He has conducted several professional courses and has made remarkable contributions to phonetics, functional English, and applied linguistics. His research credentials include a minor research project on phonological analysis of 5 cities of Saurashtra, aided and sanctioned by the UGC. A prestigious research project collaboration with IIT Mumbai on automatic speech recognition, an MPhil dissertation on English speech habits in Saurashtra, a PhD thesis on a comparative study of English and Gujarati phonological systems. Dr. Vyas has guided 5 PhD scholars and 3 MPhil students, authored and co-authored 7 books, and published 10 research articles in peer-reviewed journals. He has presented numerous papers at national and international conferences and has actively participated in several workshops, including those organized by British English Council and the Saurashtra University. He has also served as a language expert for the Gujarat government in Patya Pustak Mandal and contributed to curriculum development. He has delivered lectures at BISAG and edited the e-magazine The Story. Today, he will enlighten us on the topic Phonetics for Multilingual Indians, a subject that is highly relevant to our diverse linguistic landscape and digital learning environments. Sir, we are deeply honored to welcome you and look forward to your enriching insights. I now take this opportunity to warmly welcome our organizing secretaries, Dr. S. Saira Banu, Associate Professor of English and Coordinator of IQAC, Dr. S.J. Kala, Associate Professor of English and Dean of International Collaboration, and Dr. R. Shaktishwari, Associate Professor of English. Your academic vision, dedication, and tireless efforts have brought this program to life, and we thank you for your inspiring leadership. We also extend a sincere welcome to our program coordinators, Dr. G. Priya, Dr. A. J. Bernita, and Ms. Amala Jayashali, Assistant Professors of English of the department, whose commitment, planning, and teamwork have ensured the smooth execution of this program. Finally, a warm and heartfelt welcome to our esteemed participants, fellow professors, teachers, academicians, research scholars, and postgraduate students. Your presence adds immense value to this academic gathering, and we hope this FDP becomes a platform for meaningful dialogue, innovation, and collaborative learning. Once again, I extend a cordial welcome to you all and wish this program a great success. Thank you. Over to you, sir.
Hi, everyone. Am I audible through my
Yes,
this
sir.
earphones?
Yes, sir.
Okay, fine. Uh, Hi has two meanings in my this for my this lecture. So number one is the title of your course is IKS and Digital Natives. So naturally, uh, IKS Indian Knowledge System and this digital natives who are very familiar to this all technologies, AI and this one. So I can say that now we are passing through high to I. So it is from human intelligence to artificial intelligence. And we have two great challenges, or we can say that threat for this journey. The first is this new generation, what we know as uh, digital natives, will be lacking emotions in coming days. And second threat or challenge is that whether they could have better creativity or not. So before I ask ma'am to share my PPT, I want you to reply through opening your audio and video or by having a chat box using this chatbot, because I'm purely a teacher. Beside all this what we have read, basically I've been teaching for last 3 decades to UG and PG student in face to face manner. So to talk to screen is a bit difficult for me and I'm not habituated to this one. So I very humbly request all of you, or most of you, those who are in a position to open their audio and video, uh, actually video and audio, to converse with me. I welcome all of you. So I wish you will answer my this first question. How do you consider this digital natives for these two challenges? Number one is lacking day by day, or what we say declining in having emotions, and second threat or challenge is that so far the creativity is concerned, because we know that we are going from AI to AGI. For last in I think in last 3 days you might have gone through all these questions and all these topics very well. So I wish you will reply me. So I pause here for some minutes, for half a minute, and replying, waiting for your reply. My chat box is also open, and I'm also waiting for your reply. I think there are 76 participants, and I think most of you are listening me. Am I audible? Yes. Okay. So how do you say? What do you say to my this two questions? First, you say something about this emotional crisis in coming days, and second is about creativity. Who is going to share my PPT?
So it is ready, sir. When you say we will.
I first of all want some kind of conversation to with all the participants. Most of you, please. Uh, I have so many questions to you. Instead of delivering lectures merely, I wish we will converse in most time. And I don't have more time. You know that my session is for the half time. So I wish, as if you reply quickly, I don't want your standard answers, but I want that you participate in this one. Because I want to jump to my subject speedily.
Yeah,
Okay, please share my PPT. I think out of 77, others are not in a mood or in a condition to reply me. So there are further questions I wish you will answer regarding this, or you will share your comments, your ideas for this one. Please, ma'am, share my PPT so I can talk regarding the subject. Okay, fine. At least I received one concrete answer that they will not lack emotions, but their way of expression will be different. Now, if you put it to the what we say presentation mode, so others can watch it properly, and particularly for those who are joining from their mobile cell phone, for them it may be a very small screen. So two things are there in a way. Phonetics for multilingual Indians. We all know that the concept is very much clear that multilingual India is very well known. Yes, good. It's thanks for replying all. Yes, mixed answering are there, but I am talking about not multilingual India, but it is multilingual Indians. Uh, as you know that we presently in India we are 1.4 billion people. Our population is crossing 1.4 billion, and English speaking people are crossing the 19% of weightage. And globally, we know that David Gredol, who says in 2004 or 5 that in 20th century, the 58% of the world was communicating in English as a first or second language. But in 2050, nearly 76% population will communicate in English as a first or second language. In India, we know that English we are using across India in almost all the states. But our most of the Indian people, we know that whether this or that state, each Indian is a multilingual. Very few of us can say that we know only or I know only one language, or my language has not been influenced by any other language, by other nearby states, by nearby languages. Uh, our language has been emerged or developed. So, for example, if I am from Gujarat, I can say my Gujarati is highly influenced by Hindi and Sanskrit and Marathi. So by Rajasthani, Gurjar language, by Hindi built by from MP Madhya Pradesh, and from Maharashtra Marathi, all from three states, my Gujarati language has been influenced. In the similar way, in each and every state of India, our own mother tongue, or we say what we say regional language, has been influenced. So definitely when we speak English, our first language will definitely affect this speaking. So what do you say regarding this thing, that should we use English as a standard one, or we should use English as we speak without having any standard? My second question is that before going to phonetics as a subject for multilingual Indians, because we know that whenever we talk about phonetics, there are so many faculties from English domain. So I would like to even ask them. Very senior professors are also there.
PPT.
So what is your opinion regarding having any standard in
அதனால
English
இப்ப சக்தி மேம் தான் ஷேர்
or
பண்ணிட்டு இருக்காங்க.
speak
நான் அடுத்தவங்களுக்கு
as usual?
ஓபன் பண்ணி வச்சிருக்கேன். அது எனக்கு ஓபன் ஆயிடுச்சு. சரி.
I think now slide is visible.
சரி ஓகே.
Hello, dear
சரி
participants.
ஓகே.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
This is Dr. Saira Bano from Fatima College. Now, of course, for the question that you raised, yes, it is true that there is standard English and there are English that is spoken with mother language influence and such things. But there is a need, a definite essential need that we need to have a standard English. But
Fine.
when you think that communication is the only thing that matters, then of course any kind of English will do. But I personally feel that we need to have a standard English.
Okay, then the second question would be that which standard we should follow, whether it is British RP, American accent, Australian accent, or should we have our own Indian standard?
I see in dictionaries these days, there's something called Indian English.
Yes.
So though having colonized, we are still in the colonial mindset. We do sometimes say we should follow the British RP. But I think what's wrong in having an Indian standard English?
Yes, very nice, very nice. This question is very debatable. We know that. But now we know that after international English works, now so many standards, different standards, whether it is American, British, or Australian, they have also started getting into the neutral accent. Even BBC has changed so many things. So this is a new concept, but I want to share in between these 3-4 small clips of our Indian English. Thus, English spoken from different area of our India. How do you consider this speech, small speech from our laymen? So may I request, ma'am, who is coordinating this, I've sent you some small clips, brief clips, a video from YouTube. Will you please run this one? And I wish it will also create some interest to our participants. Hello, ma'am.
They're taking care of it, I think, sir. We'll just wait a few minutes.
Yes. Gokul has answered that it is R.K. Narayan suggested the toasted English. Yes. In the same way, R.K. Bansal, a very well-known phonologist who has also
Australian, Scottish, Canadian, and
Which one is trending now?
for now, none of them. It's neutral.
Okay, it's normal. So I'd like to know where it all started. That is, where did you get the idea that you need to learn to speak English?
So when you speak English, especially in our country, it's not like that anymore. Previously, you had a certain level of confidence. You speak English well. You must be intelligent. You used to get that level of confidence. From there, Dad decided he needed to teach his children English. To develop that English fluency, he would take me to the Red Fort and India Gate on Sundays. There were foreigners there, so I would talk to them. Excuse me, can I please have 30 seconds of yours? Then we started watching the BBC. So I used to listen to both BBC News and CNN News simultaneously, one with a British accent, the other with an American accent. So I used to mimic the whole news story, which was their accent. I used to watch YouTube videos. I used to read. That's how I learned 9 different accents.
What a thing.
Okay.
You speak.
Okay. We may go to the second video. It's also very small, and it's from another layman, laywoman or man. Will you please run this one at a time so we can compare both the things?
the human brain. It must have man making, character making, and life building assimilation of ideas. Then only by means of that education something can be gained in the world. Most probably, students are totally ignorant about. Education is not the amount of information that is put in the
fine.
human brain.
Next one. I think this is the last one.
Hello.
How are you?
Namaste. How are you?
I'm fine.
What is your name?
My name's Sunita.
Unita. I am Johan.
Johan.
And you live here?
Yeah, I live here.
You live here.
I live in desert.
Oh, in the desert?
Yeah, in plastic tent.
Oh, in a plastic tent.
Yeah, I don't have house.
You speak very good English.
Thank you, but I don't go to school.
No,
No
heard.
reading, don't writing,
Yeah,
just
yeah,
I talk
yeah.
English.
I come from Holland.
Holland.
You know Holland?
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, Holland I
Just
don't.
far away. Oh,
Yeah, far away.
Far away.
Yeah.
Yes. Beautiful place here.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
But very far this.
Yeah.
We're not going possible there.
No.
Yeah, because I'm poor, just I make
yeah.
henna and only make dance.
You have to go with an aeroplane,
And I don't have passport.
Oh, yeah, you don't have passport.
Yeah, me is poor.
But how come you speak so well English?
I'm just marketing, walking,
Yes.
and then I
You learned.
my mind
Oh,
and then recording.
Yeah, by speaking to tourists.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, fine. Great. Well, have a nice day.
Fine. Thank you, ma'am. Now let's go back to PPT. Now the concept is that is phonetics studied or taught in this manner, keeping in mind the multilingual Indian into concept. Mostly we know that in UG and PG courses, even in pure linguistic course, we know that phonetics, whether has been ignored or in a very small portion. Even in UG and PG English literature and language course, we know there is only one paper of linguistic at UG level and one paper at PG level. So far, my universities are concerned and what I have visited and the studied syllabi of other universities, curriculum of other universities. Phonetics has been taught very traditionally and studied also very traditionally. Please, next slide. Please go to the next one. Next slide. So we know that we know phonetics as only a scientific study of speech sounds, their articulation, and their production, and their different perceptions. So this has been taught like this as a one corner subject. How it is been produced from lungs and air comes out like this, and vowels and consonants, we know that all these things. No doubt it's a core science, but India is having a great potential so far this linguistic research and linguistic hierarchy is concerned. So for this modern global necessity for this digital native generation, we need to change this subject from this traditional academic study to the new modern global necessity. This contextual shift is now necessary, keeping in mind this multilingual Indian. Please go to the next one. So what we need to do is that this gap of teaching phonetics traditionally, we should consider phonetics as a science of pronunciation. In the next slide, you will see that I have considered, or I want that now phonetics should be taught keeping in mind the general Indian English concept. Now with this new technology and with this new machines, can we map the gap of all these variations, what we have just listened and watched in 3 different videos. One was from a very rural base, or we can say that from one corner of India. Another was from the third, another corner of India. And one was one girl who was talking to a very famous celebrity. She was talking in a different accent. So I think all 3 videos were enough understandable, and we can get the idea from all of 3. I think one woman was talking, she was lacking a lot of grammar, context, and other things. Still, it was understandable. What ma'am has just talked in her reply, that for learning English, standard is required for communication. We can have Indian English or any kind of English. Next slide, please. So, instead of studying phonetics as only a speech science of speech sound, can we consider it as a science of pronunciation of this modern time and for the coming times? It will create a new impact. It will create our communication better, effective communication that will make all of us in a more strengthened position. So for that one, we should consider now syllabus of phonetics and English as that vehicle. Please go to the next one. We know that 2 parts are there of phonetics. One is segmental features, that we know that vowels and consonants. And another one is suprasegmental. The next slide is of that. Please go to this one. In suprasegmental features, we know that we normally teach trace and trace, accent, intonation, pitch, motors of what we say, or mind. The latest inventions of brain inform us that now we have different parts in our brain that may affect us with the producing consonants and vowels. And we Indians are having so many variety that we can produce maximum consonants and maximum vowels. One blame is also that we know that we Indians are not good at producing diphthongs and triphthongs so far the standard English is concerned. But another thing is that also we know that out of all the languages of the world, most of the languages of the world are having only 5 vowels, and all these 5 vowels are short vowels, and they can also communicate very properly. So the meaning of the language, or the most of the part of the semantic portion of the language, run with the producing consonants, and we Indians are very fertile in producing consonants. We know that in most of the languages of India, we have 30 or more than 33 phonemes of consonants. So our map of producing all the different kinds of consonants may be fricatives, plosives, nasals. All these ones are so good to us. So can we think of one new idea? Now please go to the next one. What we call correct pronunciation, should we redefine them by using the word correct English or correct pronunciation for communication purpose, for delivering lectures, for speeches? What could be the standard of English? So I raise this question to all of you. Ma'am has answered a little bit, but I also request others, because we know that general Indian English, this concept has been also produced before years together by R.K. Bansal, then T. Bala Subramaniam, and so many linguistic and phonologists have worked in this area. So now in 21st century, in 2026, how should we consider Indian English? Still we want to keep in mind British RP, American English, or should we consider ourselves from this concept if we really want Indian knowledge system to imbibe in linguistic portion, because now we know that after arrival of AI, not in engineering field, but in medical field, in education field, in what we say in what we say in transportation, all in communications, we have revolutionized like anything. So why should we not consider from this linguistic portion that this correct pronunciation should be redefined? So I want some kind of what we say your opinion in this one, that can we map all these varieties, may it be from the South India, may it be from the North India, may it be from the west part of India and east part of India, it may be the middle part of India. Can we have one English and we can produce in such a way that can create a one effect? Please share your views. I'm just waiting for your reply. Maybe you can open your video, that video part and audio part. And you may, if you don't want, then you can chat with me. I'm very much here with opening my chat box. Please. We don't have more minutes to go further. So please reply quickly.
So that's a very interesting point that you have now floated here. These days, the practice of translanguaging is
Yes.
taking up very fast. And though we are talking about, I also said just a few minutes ago
Yes.
that
Yes.
we need some kind of standard Indian, even Indian English, if it
Indian
may be.
English. Yes.
But with translanguaging, where there's a lot of mixing of all languages from all using all accents and all
Yes.
that, so it is going to be very flexible in the future. There
Fine.
is nothing that is going to be a monopoly in language
Yes.
or communication. So I think we have to, it's high time that we started making an eclectic approach, or choose, I don't know if we have to really form a standard English, or
Yes.
are we just happy to settle with using, I mean, the translanguaging concept
Yes.
of
It's a very good term. Yes. Very good term.
yes.
Yeah.
I'm
Translanguage.
interested in that area recently.
Yes.
Even in English medium colleges,
Mhm.
where medium of English is instruction is English,
Mm.
why not use the mother tongue, or a language that will easily reach the students? Why not? Is that I've always been that
Yes.
kind of not a very Puritan, though I'm an English
Mhm.
literature staff.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
maybe we should consider that also. It's high time that we did that.
Yes, yes, translanguage linguistic
Yes.
model.
Mm.
Can anyone else? Can anyone else can share that? Yes, one chat I've received. Any other can open his or her what we say video and audio and can talk to me. Still, one or two things I want to discuss with you. So I'm in bit hurry. From my 1 and 30 minutes what we say session, it has become only 40-45 minutes. So I'm to talk little bit in a constrained mood, so I couldn't give more time what we say, and can wait for your replies. So please. Yes, even Europe has moved towards multilingualism. Fine. So please go to the next slide. Please go to the next slide. That we have talked that. So we can keep in three things in mind: regional language, that may be very near to our mother tongue, because we know that we have two official language, 22 languages we accepted for as an official one, and 1600 languages across India we have been using, and every single language has more than 10,000 users, more than what we said, so many languages have script, and we know that Sanskrit has given us a very great backbone for what we said, research, for digging out the certain things in syntactically, semantically, phonetically, all the things. So I think now it is high time, as Madam also proposed, that instead of going and for the any American and British RP, now AI will help us, and AGI will help us through our prompt engineering. After we as we are using ChatGPT and Gemini and what we say proximity, all for our research purpose, for our education purpose, and whatever we will give them as a data. So these all machine will be trained in such a way that I think if 1.4 billion people will use English in such a way that in coming days people will understand our English. We don't do, as ma'am also say, why should we say it is Indian standard English or all? But world will accept our English because we have maximum number of consonants, we have maximum number of phonemes, and our even suprasegmental, our pitch, our intonations, and the metabolism God has given us. We know that we are least nasalized, and when we need to use nasal sounds, we don't have any problems. So this is the rare variety throughout the world that we can produce not English but any language very well. So please go to the next slide. So for, as we know that communication is a two-way loop. So encoder and for decoder, for both the ones. And so far the business trend, industrialization, and world is a global village concept. We can see that we need to talk abroad now and then. And if this AI machines will be trained, the Google translation and our what we say Chennai IIT recently developed a one program also in which they have covered so many Indian languages for the translation. So this will give us ample power in coming days to produce our one way of using English. And as it is suggested recently, that why should we not use our mother tongue, our regional language with English? That will make our understanding even better. So instead of going for poor communication and failure in passing on this new model of what we say neutral English or Indian English will give us an upper hand for communicating to the world in a better way. Please go to the next one. It is just to 1 minute, 1 second that how trace and intonation can work. If we give trace on one word instead of this word, the whole meaning will be changed. That we know that for encoder and decoder. In coming days, if we know that we are not that much aware of giving stress on particular words. Whole English language is having stress and stress pattern. So instead of this following this stress and stress pattern or particular one, if we are using English in our own way, by 2050, I think within this within 1 or 2 decades, India can give to the world a new language, may it be called Indian English, but as today we know that US very frankly say it is not American English, but it is American language. Let world say it is American English, but it is no more an American English, it is American language. After a decade or two, we can say that it is not Indian English, but it is the Indian language that we want to communicate to the world. For our internal communication across India and between our Indians also, it will be a great useful usage for us. Please, next slide. See, in this way, we can connect our dots. From every part, we have some very strong things. We know that these are the certain specific features each part is having. And if we mix this all parts and prepare a one model, that will be that should be our strategy. Reality is that, but reality is our multilingualism. But if we have this strategy in mind and marketing this one, that we will have this kind of model in coming days, we will use this one. So please, this one. Okay, go to the next one. This is maybe our vision that will help a vast population of India to set a standard, not just to follow one. We, as ma'am has says, we should now come out from this colonialization. We have colonized and follow so many people, but now it is time that people will follow India, and we prioritize our intelligibility, our own one. People will imitate us, and this will give us a great facility, both for our internal communication as well as for intra-nation and for international. Yes, go to the concluding part. Please go to the next one. So, my only concept is that for coming days, for IKS, phonetics should be studied and taught. No longer only for English students or English literature student, English language student, for every person who want to communicate in India, in different states of India, and out of India. For them, it would be phonetics should be taught as a one new model of communication. If it is being taught in this way, our vital role as a listener, as a speaker, for global participation, it would be excellent one. And that will not only for what we say to establish our empower, but it will lead us to the better empowerment in business, in communication, in medical science, and as a human being. So I think time doesn't permit me to go further, and I just try to cover all the slides. I have made only 14 slides. Two were introductory and concluding one. Last one was for just my introduction. So 12 slides were only there, and I've been given 45 minutes. So in this 45 minutes, I have three things to tell you. Let us consider English language as a vehicle to communicate to the world with our own flavor and in our own way. Today we consider only about the pronunciation. Tomorrow we can consider for the syntactic purpose, that means for our own structure, our own vocabulary. Today we know that 5,000 words are there in Oxford Indian English Dictionary. And tomorrow we will have more number of words, more number of Indian context and structures, and our own pronunciation. So we can develop a new model of English language, and that will help us to build a one unity in India and create an effects in the world. Thank you. Thank you very much for listening me carefully. And I hope you you enjoy this my lecture and get something fruitful. I like your participation. One or two of you have participated. I wish that more number of people can participate in this talk. Thank you, Fatima College, and all the participants, and particularly those who have invited me. Thank you. I just rest over here.
Thank you, sir. It was edifying and impactful session. I now invite Ms. A. Devasudha, Assistant Professor, PG at Research Department of English, to formally thank our distinguished speaker.
Good evening again. It is with immense gratitude and deep appreciation that I propose this vote of thanks to our esteemed resource person, Dr. Ketan BVS, Associate Professor of English, Shri G.K. and C.K. Basamia Arts and Commerce College, Jaipur. Sir, your session on phonetics for multilingual Indians was truly enriching and highly engaging. Your interactive presentation had us glued to our screens, waiting for your thought-provoking questions. With videos, you made the session lively, practical, and meaningful, and held our attention. Pronunciation has given us a fresh and systematic perspective on language learning and teaching. Your vast academic experience, rich research background, and deep understanding of phonological systems across languages have given us valuable insights into the practical and theoretical dimensions of phonetics, especially in a multilingual context like India. On behalf of the PG and Research Department of English, Fatima College, MDU, Madurai, I sincerely thank you, sir, for sharing your time, knowledge, and expertise with us. Your presence has added great value to this faculty development program, and we are truly honored to have learned from you. Once again, thank you, sir, for your intellectually stimulating and memorable session. And yes, we really enjoyed it.
Thank you. Thank you for your words. End the session. Just cut off myself.
Thank you, ma'am. Dear academicians, we now move on to the second session of this evening. To introduce our first person, I invite Ms. M. Esther, Assistant Professor, PG and Research Department of English, Fatima College. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Nandini. Good evening, everyone. I am delighted to introduce our distinguished speaker, Faculty of Management Studies at ICFAI University, Raipur. Dr. Archie Dubey brings her a rich blend of academic excellence and education. She holds a PhD in management from Ravi Shankar Shukla University, Raipur, and UGC NET qualified, and has an MBA specializing in marketing and HR. What makes us with a degree in microbiology and later moved into management, a transition that gives her a unique interdisciplinary perspective, combining analytical thinking with a deep understanding of people and organizations. For teaching, management, and research, her research work focuses on contemporary and impactful areas such as customer relationship management, social media behavior, service quality, and customer loyalty. These themes that are highly relevant in today's digital and business world. Her ideas published in Scopus and UGC Care Index journals. She has a Google Scholar H index of 4. She is the author of 2 books, the editor of 4 edited volumes, holds 6 published patents, successfully completed 2 funded research projects. Her work consistently explores the intersection of human behavior, technology, and organizational systems. Today, she'll be sharing her insights on a highly relevant and thought-provoking topic, ethics for the digital generation. Ma'am, we are honored to have you with us today. I now invite Dr. Archie Dubey to take the session forward. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. I have some technical issues, so I request you please to share my PPT here in the platform. I was about to share my own PPT. Amla ma'am, are you there? I have shared PPT with her.
Yes, ma'am, I'm here. Just a minute, ma'am.
Hello?
Ma'am, just a minute, ma'am.
Yeah, no problem. No problem. Yeah, I think it is visible right now. Is it in the slideshow mode, ma'am?
We'll change it now, ma'am.
Amla ma'am, I have shared the PPT on the screen.
Yes, Vanita. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine.
Ma'am, you can
I'm
proceed.
starting. Okay, fine. So a very warm good evening to one and all present over here. This is Dr. Archie Dubey, and thank you for the beautiful introduction. So, respected organizing committee members and honorable esteemed participants from the Pan India. First of all, I would like to thank the Fatima College, especially Amla ma'am and the team for connecting with me. And although I can understand that we are running out of the time, and since this is the second lecture, so I'm trying to be as brief as possible. So in the 15, 20 minutes or maybe 25 minutes, it would be just, very difficult to understand the gist of the Mahabharata. But I will definitely try to justify with my PPTs. So today I will be speaking on ethics, dharma, and decision making. Mahabharata insights for the digital generation. So since we know that we all are living in a digital generation, right? So I would request the presenters to please move the slide. Please move the slide. Hello. Yeah. Anyone, please move the slide.
Amala? Dr. Amala? Yes. Just a minute, ma'am. Vanita is working on it, ma'am. Sorry for the inconvenience.
Yeah. Please connect with me, ma'am, so that we can move the slides and we
Yes.
can move ahead as soon as possible. Okay, fine. So, yeah, please move ahead. So we are all are living in the digital generation, and if you're talking about me as well as the my younger generation, please move the slide. Actually, yeah, please move to the next slide. So as far as we are concerned with the digital generation, those we are concerned with the Gen Z or Alpha, they are all, yeah, digitally empowered. They are informed, and they're digitally transformed. You are just one click right now. If you're talking about the digital generation, you are just one click away from your decision. If you are taking any decision, it will take just 1 milliseconds. One algorithm can change, can go for a rejection of the candidates, or we can say that one kind of post can influence millions of people. So these are the in the digital generation we are focusing upon. But the question arises that a click, when we are talking about the click, it is so we are living in so impulsive stage that when we are talking about the speed and scale, we often pause to ask: Are our decisions are wise, fair, and ethical? Are we taking decisions in milliseconds? We are so become impulsive. So are we taking wise decisions? So over the thousands. So in this context, we are talking about that fundamental wisdom in decision making. If you're talking about the fundamental wisdom in decision making, in that context, we are talking about the Mahabharata. So Mahabharata is not only an epic, it is not related with a particular religion or the Hindu religion. It is an timeless and moral, storytelling method. It is timeless, epic, you can say, where we can learn a lot of lesson. Please move ahead. So in the time of the Mahabharata, please move the slide. If we are moving with the Mahabharata age, I request you, the organizers, to please be with me to move the slides. Otherwise, it could not create the, uh, you know, okay, fine. So, if we are moving, it is educating us since 3,000 years, since 3 to 5,000 years ago. And we are very proud that this type of timeless epic, it is all surviving right now also after several many invasions. So if you're talking about Mahabharata, it is one of the Pancham Veda. Pancham Veda means if you're talking about the four Veda. So it is the fifth one which is representing and compress all the Vedas in one part which is known as Mahabharata. If you're talking about the Kurukshetra battle, where the people were living in the a dilemma, where confusion, where chaos, that how to take decision in that much complex decision. So same we are living in the digital world. We are always facing the problem of truth versus popularity, you know, the you can say the privacy versus popularity and so on. So we are talking about the characters that reflect ethical tensions that we are facing, that was also faced by the characters of the Mahabharata, like Arjun was facing the doubt, the Yudhishthira was facing the integrity problem, the Krishna was facing the wisdom problem, and the Karna was facing the loyalty problem. So it is giving a timeless message that either technology can guide actions, it may guide actions, but dilemma that must guide decisions. Please move ahead. Yes, please move ahead the slide. Please move the slide. So if you're talking about what is a digital gap with the Indian knowledge system, it is already very clear. So I'm skipping this particular slide. Please move ahead. Please move the slide. So I'm talking about the Mahabharata insights from the ethical decision making. So we have already discussed about, please move ahead. Please move the slide. It is not moving yet. Amla ma'am, are you there?
I think there's some technical glitch. We'll
Okay,
fix it.
might be. So
Just
let's, yeah,
yeah.
let me finish it. Just give me a few minutes. Fine. If the slide is not moving, uh, I'm moving ahead with certain points that I have noted it down. The slide, the presentation is divided into two basic parts. What are the ethical dilemmas told by the Mahabharata? And second one is, what are the lessons and leadership lessons we can learn through it? What are the moral lessons we can learn through it that we will go in the last slide? And before that, let us discuss about what are the ethical dilemmas. I apologize that due to technical glitches, I am not able to present my PPT in my laptop, but yes, we can discuss it as well. So I request the honorable presenters to go with my words in case if it is feasible. Otherwise, I am going the oral decisions. So five to six kind of ethical dilemmas we can discuss. First one, we are going with the duty versus morality. We are going with the loyalty versus dharma. We are going with the war versus peace. We are going with the ego versus humility, honor versus revenge, or end versus means. So let us discuss it one by one. Let us take the first case. What is the first case? That if you are talking about the ethical dilemmas in Mahabharata, if the first dilemma, I am talking about the dilemma of the Yudhishthira. Yudhishthira was uh, although known as the Dharmaraj Yudhishthir, he was known for the making strategies in the battlefield, and he was known for his truth and dharma and his duties as well. But also, he has done a great, he was turmoil between the truth versus survival dilemma, because it was Pandavas was on a weaker side, as we know that it was a question of the survival that time. So what he did, there was an incident in the ethical dilemma I want to share with you all. That is known as Ashwathama Hatahata. So that is known as Ashwathama Hatahata. So Ashwathama Hatahata, if you're talking about, it was, a son was the son was Guru Dronacharya, whose name was Ashwathama. So it was believed that the Dronacharya was the one of the most influential person and the most powerful person. Please move ahead. Powerful person in the field of in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. So it was the only believed when the Dronacharya believed that his own son Ashwathama would die, then only it will be possible to defeat him. Then what the Kauravas do, what the Pandavas do, they kill one of the elephant which is known as the Ashwathama, and they announce at the time of evening that the Ashwathama killed, and they softly said that although Ashwathama was an elephant, and the voice with the softly pronounced that Ashwathama, not his son but was an elephant, was killed. that was suppressed in the voices of the conch shells and bells in the evening time. So what? The half part, it was a partially listened by Guru Drona, and suddenly they came to know through the partial truth that my son Ashwathama was killed. And when once he was killed, he was, paralyzed. He was morally paralyzed, and it was very easy for him to kill. It was for the Pandavas to kill them. So that was the first incident where we were talking about how the absolute truth versus preventing the mass destruction. So in order to prevent the mass destruction, the Pandavas take the partial truth or half truth action, and uh, at the moral cost of, what was the moral cost? They were paying the moral cost of loss of personal integrity. So if we are concluding it that when we want to justify, when for the, if any of the lies was said on the part of the Pandavas in order to get the social benefit, so it was considered good. So that was the first case. So that was the first case when we always stuck between the ethical dilemmas. So how it was get rid of by the Pandavas. Second incident I was talking about, the Arjuna's duty versus compassion dilemma. We all know that Arjuna was one of the good, warrior in the field of Kurukshetra, but he was so morally turmoil, emotionally exhausted, that how could I fight against my own uncles, my own brothers, my cousins, my gurus, and my grandparents like Bhishma Pitama. So he was suffering from, it is a condition which is known as a decision paralysis under moral stress, and it is known as ethical fatigue. And the Krishna resolution model. At the same time, Krishna appeared and he helped him to get rid out of his this kind of role ambiguity and created a role clarity in front of the uh, Arjuna. And he just told him to get detached from what he is doing from the outcome. He just suggested to go for the continuous karma, and this is known as Nishkam karma, right? And he told Arjuna that dharma is of supreme higher duty. Dharma is paramount from all. Dharma is about attempting what is right at the right time, doing the right things at the right time, right? So that is what is known as dharma, and the moral lesson was taught by the Krishna, Sri Krishna, and this is how the 18 chapters of Gita was written over there. So this is known as what? This is known as the Arjuna duties versus the compassion dilemma. So it was a role-based ethics, and which is similar to the modern governance framework. And I want to recent chant one shlok which is known as Karmanyeva Dhikaraste Ma Phaleshu Kadachana Ma Karma Phal Hetu Bhurma Te Sangosva Karmani. That is, if you have the duty to perform your duty but not to the fruits of the action, do not be motivated by the results, not become attached to the inaction. That is the gist of the shloka. So dharma demands you to what is true, and that is the incidents when the 18 chapters of the Gita, Bhagavad Gita was written over there. That was the second ethical dilemma. We are moving ahead with the third ethical dilemma. That is all about the Karna's loyalty versus justice dilemma. We all know that Karna was the son of sun god along with Kunti. She got a blessing of the Almighty, and due to which he got the son as Karna. The Karn later on, he was, born and brought up by the charioteer, which is known as Adhirath. So later on, Kunti disclosed the truth that he is one of the Pandavas. He is the sibling of the Pandavas, but still, it was not adopted. He was not adopted by the society. And that time, the Duryodhan, gave him kingdom. He gave him status, and that's why Karna was utmost loyal to the Duryodhan and all the Kauravas, despite of knowing the fact that Karna didn't say anything when Duryodhana burned the palace of Pandava first. Second, when Duryodhana disrobed Draupadi in front of his court, that is known as probably known as Draupadi Chirhanan, then also he didn't say in a single word. And when under the influence of greed, Duryodhana was set out to kill his own brothers and cousins, then also the Karna didn't say anything. So that was the gratitude and loyalty versus moral correctfulness. We can say that loyalty is good, but unquestioning loyalty is not good for anyone. So Karna was is tragic because ethical awareness exists, but action is constrained by the social obligation. He know that when nobody helped Karna, then the Duryodhana helped. That was his loyalty towards Karna was unquestioned. But every time this unquestioned loyalty is not good. So this is the third ethical dilemma that you can correlate all about it that with. And the fourth one is like Draupadi's question. We are talking is the authority versus human dignity. So if we are talking about that particular incident, we all know that Draupadi was the single wife of the all the five Pandavas. And we are talking about the case of disrobing in the Sabha, when in the court. We all know that Shakuni got the blessing about the playing an extraordinary game in the dice. So he was, a pro, an extraordinary player in the dice. So he provoked the Kaurva and Pandavas to play together the dice. And in the same dice game, first of all, Yudhishthira lost his kingdom, he lost his brothers, then he lost himself, and at last he took a stake on his own wife Draupadi. Then the Draupadi put the question that if you lost himself, if he lost himself, Yudhishthira, if you lost yourself, then how would you get the right to put you me on my on the stake? That was the biggest question. Then the ethical analysis, which is collapsed, is that the whole person was sitting, Bhishma Pitama, then Dronacharya, then Vidura, then Dhritarashtra, that what the elder persons were sitting in the court, along with there was a major silence of the elder person. Nobody was saying anything. There was a legal, technical, overriding the humanity. There was patriarchal power structure. There was the objectification of the woman in the whole court, but all the elders were silent. So what is the sharp critic here? That apart from unethical questions, system persists not because of villains, but because of the passive witness of the people who were sitting here. So that is the basic. So what is the fact? That sometimes if the people who are good and who are right, they if they are passive, they are not active, they are silenced, then only we can witness such kind of unethical things over there. So mostly all of us like that only in today's age. We are just passive learners, we are passive listeners, we don't take any action towards any kind of the injustice. So that is the biggest questions of the Draupadi that time. The last ethical dilemma I'm talking about, that hope I'm trying to justify with the time. If you're talking about the fifth and the last kind of the ethical dilemma, we are talking about the Bhishma's vow versus moral responsibility. We all know that Bhim was one of the husbands of the Draupadi. He was witnessing all such kind of the injustice that were going on by the Kauravas towards the Draupadi, even done by his own brother, Yudhishthir, who was known as the Dharmaraj also. But that time the Dharmaraj was a king. That time Dharmaraj was not doing unethical practices, but that time, as per the context, Dharmaraj was the elder brother of the family. Dharmaraj was the king, and Dharmaraj was playing the game. So, in order to prevent their own family and patriarchal hierarchy, after witnessing all such kind of injustice, the Bhima was kept, silence. He could not say anything. But at that time, after finishing of the game, he vowed for two things. He vowed to drink the blood of the Dushasan, and he vowed to kill the Dushasan from his thighs. And later on, once that particular incidence of the dice game was completed, he implemented all the both the vows in the battlefield of the Kurukshetra to just take the revenge of the insult of the Draupadi in the full court. So why that time Bhishma's vow was fulfilled, but he couldn't say anything because of his moral responsibility in front of his elder brother as a king. His promise, because all the elders was silent, because that was a game, that was a part of the game, he couldn't say anything. So that was the ethical blindness that time, but later on he could take the revenge of all these kind of the insults. That is known as the moral courage. So again, if you're talking about the next part of my which is the last part, which is I'm going to talk for only 2 minutes, that what are the lessons we are learning. Just take just 2 minutes. So if you're talking about the lessons learned from the Mahabharata, what kind of lessons we are learning from the Mahabharata? The very first lesson, leadership lessons we are learning from the Mahabharata, or any kind of ethical, moral lessons we can learn from the Mahabharata is the very first is our pride is our downfall. The moment when we start believing that we are strengthened enough, we are powerful enough, I'm empowered enough, it takes to my downfall. It takes to our downfall. For example, one of the incidents I want to share that once the Bhim, he was extremely powerful person. When he was going somewhere, he observed a monkey laid on the road. He requested monkey that please keep aside. Monkey told that you do one thing, you move my tail aside and you make your own way. I won't disturb you. Then what Bhima was do? Bhima did that he tried to move the tail of the monkey through his leg, and then he realized that tail got so, although the monkey was looking so weak, but the tail became so heavy that it could not move. And he tried many attempts, but the tail couldn't move. Then he realized that the monkey is not a common monkey. He is himself the Lord Hanuman. Then he believed that sometimes if you are doing something with the humility will work rather than showing their strength to the some of the places. So one lesson we can learn is that our pride is our downfall. One of the pride was the Dhritarashtra's pride, and another pride was a Duryodhan pride, that they were, they choose the Krishna's army or the Krishna's leadership. They were so strengthened by the army of the Krishna. That was also one of the downfall of the Kaurava, that their pride. Second is we can learn is that why do we want Pandavas to win? Pandavas were one of the characters in the Mahabharata who never play blame game with other people, who never play like who never blame others for their mistakes. So they always take their blame on their own end. So that was the one thing. The Pandavas one who choose integrity over any other thing, who choose integrity and morality over the materialistic thing. In the same instance, they choose the Krishna's leadership over the Krishna's materialistic thing. And that was the reason why the Pandavas what gained sympathy in the battlefield and in the eyes of the public also. And the third we are talking about, if you're talking about seek solution where everyone can benefit. So avoid the game which is avoid the zero sum games. Although whoever will win, the both were brothers, both were the family, the part of the same family, Kauravas and Pandavas. Whoever will win, whoever will lose, there is nothing to left. There's nothing to gain. So there was a game that in the battlefield, nobody will win. Even the Pandavas win or the Kauravas win, but nobody win because they lost on both the ends. If your loss situation is there, so it is a kind of it is known as zero sum game. So if there is certain kind of situation where there is no win-win situation, there is only lose-lose situation. Either if we win, then also we are going to lose our family and friends. So we have to avoid such kind of situation. The next lesson we can learn that we are talking about one of the incidents of the Barbaric. Barbaric, he was the most powerful character in the Mahabharata. Even Kauravas and Pandavas both want that Barbaric should fight on our end. So what Barbaric decided that I won't fight for any one side. I will fight for the person when the moment when you become weaker. If the Pandavas become weaker, I will go on there, and if the Kauravas become weaker, I will go on that end. So you cannot choose two sides. You cannot choose two sides. The person who is choosing both the sides are more dangerous. So you have to be very clear that which side you are choosing, right? The next incidents we can learn from the Mahabharata is the credibility of the characters. It is the most credible character, the most loyal character in the Mahabharata was none other than the Karna. Apart from his blessings of the Kavach and Kundal, apart from knowing that my Kavach and Kundal is my strength, nobody can kill me along with that. So he used to donate all these things to the people who wanted their Kavach and Kundal. So he was a tragic hero who was, wrongly proved, and he was suffering from misdeeds from many of the angles in the Mahabharata, but he was a tragic hero with the flawed loyalty. So Karna. So never, compromise with the credibility of the character. Instead of the many of the opportunities he has seek, he never compromised with his credibility and the loyalty towards the Kaurava. Next is duty of the paramount, that we have learned that if we are suffering from the role, conflict, we have to we have to choose our role, we have to choose our duty as their paramount importance. We have to focus on our own responsibility. We should not be, focus on the outcome of any of the things. Rather, we should do our own duty. And that duty is of righteousness of our own path. So we have to always choose righteousness of our own path. We have to choose truth versus popularity. That is the basic lesson we can learn from the Arjun. We also learned that the blind love is dangerous. At the end of the Dhritarashtra, apart from knowing that my son Kauravas are wrong, they were disrobed Draupadi in the full court in front of him and in front of all the elders. Apart from knowing the truth, apart from knowing this particular fact that my son are wrong, they are doing wrong with the Draupadi, they are doing wrong with their own cousins Pandavas. He didn't speak a single word. And at last, what happened? And at last, he lost his own sons in the battlefield. And that was attachment clouds judgment. So blind love is always dangerous things that we can learn from the Dhritarashtra. And the last lesson we can learn is half knowledge is always dangerous. You try to put the complete knowledge. Incomplete understanding can be a fatal. For fatal, how it is fatal? We can take the example of the Abhimanyu, which was the son of Arjun. When he was in the womb of his mother, he listened something about the Chakravyuh. So when he failed the same thing, when we expose the same thing about the Chakravyuh, what he do? He entered in the Chakravyuh, but unfortunately, in his mother's womb, he could not listen that how to get out of that Chakravyuh, because of which he could died in the battlefield. And it is one of the incomplete understanding that was fatal on the part of Abhimanyu. So Arjuna was he had lost his own son in the battlefield. So that is why the half and incomplete knowledge is always dangerous. So I am moving ahead with the concluding part of that Mahabharata is not a war that is going inside us. It is a war. Yeah, definitely it is a war which is going inside us. You can predict yourself as Pandavas as well as you can predict yourself as Kaurava. In some of the incidents we are Kaurava, in some of the incidents we are Pandavas. And we believe that Mahabharata ultimately tells us that we can have 100 of the different and damaging faults like Kaurava. 100 of the damaging faults like Kaurava. But if we are having five good qualities like Pandava, we can overcome from that particular fault. So at the last, please go with the next slide, please. Since we are in the concluding stage, I would like to, yeah, please move to the next slide. Yes, you can read it. What I have just, yes. So in the world which is driven by the algorithm, it is the dharma, it is a duty, it is not data that must guide our decision. So we must move all along in the path of the righteousness, all along in the path of the duty, without thinking of the outcomes, without thinking of the failures or success of the decisions. We have to take decision. But taking actions and taking decision is of utmost importance. That is our duty. And we must embrace technology, but anchor decisions in ethical awareness. We should not think, because we are living in the area of data, era of data, where we are facing a lot of problem and dilemma with the data privacy and data complexity. In every second, in every minute, the data is lost. We can say that there is pawn data. Then the pawn data is texted in every second of about the particular women, which we can correlate with the disrobing of the Draupadi in the full court. So we can believe that we should not forget our ethical awareness. So we should be very ethically aware about what is right and wrong, what data we have to share, which data we have to not share in the social media. We always choose responsibility over convenience and purpose over profit. So that is what I just wanted to tell you. So I wanted to cut short my presentation because we are running over the time. And finally, I would like to hand over the platform to the organizers so that if you could have any questions, then we can discuss. And over to you, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you, Archie ma'am, for your enriching session on the epic, the Mahabharata. Your talk was truly insightful and enlightening. Dear participants, the floor is now open for questions and interactions. I request all the participants to post their questions in the chat box or unmute themselves to ask their doubts.
The box, please.
Ma'am, I think we can move further. There is no further question.
I was sure that Dr. Dibankar will definitely
Yeah,
have a
yeah.
question, and there he is.
Can anybody please read the question?
Somebody reading? Let me read. Yeah.
You gave the example of Abhimanyu while mentoring. Ma'am, yes, I am reading, ma'am.
Mm.
You gave the example of Abhimanyu while mentoring half knowledge is dangerous. Then what would you conclude? Is ethical failure in the Mahabharata primarily a failure of character or a failure of knowledge?
Ma'am, are you available? Hello. I think ma'am is logged
Oh,
out.
yeah, yeah, ma'am. I just lost my connectivity.
Okay.
So, yeah, could you
Did you
please
get the
just,
question, ma'am?
no, no, ma'am, please repeat it in short, ma'am.
I shall repeat it. You gave the example of Abhimanyu while mentioning half knowledge is dangerous. Then what would you conclude? Is ethical failure in the Mahabharata primarily a failure of character or a failure of knowledge systems and transmission?
See, sir, it's very pertinent questions, very pertinent question regarding this. Yes, ma'am. It is not the failure of the, failure of the entire thing. It is the just failure of our system. So, if you're talking about, I just give you one more example. Like, you know, uh, Adhura Gyan, if you're talking about. So it is one of the leading example. It is not the example. It is not the incidents we can connect with the failure of the entire system. But if you're just 1 minute, Abhimanyu knew how to enter the Chakravyuh, a complex circular, but did not know how to come out because he had only partially learned it while his mother Subraya. Yeah. Yes. So we can. That's why that's led to the death of the Abhimanyu. That we cannot say that this is the failure of the system, but that is the failure that we can what that incidents we can correlate with the real life data, sir, right now. Sir, as the half knowledge because of the any of the situation, he got the partial knowledge. Due to that partial knowledge, that was the fatal in any of the circumstances like that also, any of the partial knowledge that we are having today also, that could lead to any of the, loss of the rejections in any of the rejection in any of the area or, misdeed in any of the area. So we cannot say that that is not the loss of the system. That was the circumstances created over there. But that led to the death of and the loss of the son to the Arjuna. So similarly, we can correlate with the present context. That is not, the limitations of the Mahabharata. That was the circumstances Mahabharata, but we could use that particular circumstances in the present scenario. That how any of the half knowledge or the partial knowledge could lead to the loss in any of the circumstances to us also. That we are dealing with a lot of social media platforms right now. I hope that I'm audible to each and everyone. That if we are dealing with the social media right now, many of the platforms we are running, but we don't know how to maintain the data privacy. We are doing with a lot of platforms of the Google payments and the digital payments, but we don't know how to, get rid of the digital literacy or digital arrest. We are not knowing any of the rules and regulations on how to prevent ourselves from the digital fraud. So if we are learning such many things, we are incomplete. Learning will lead to the fatal kind of or any kind of mishappenings, but not every time. That is a chance of 1 out of 10. But if it is, there is chance of 1 also. That partial knowledge could, could lead to the many of the losses. Yes. Courage alone is not enough. Strategy and teamwork matter. Definitely. That was the situation. As the Ashwathama was killed, as they make a strategy, they prefer to choose strategy over the truth. Similarly, Abhimanyu was sent in the battlefield strategically. It was a strategic decision by the Kauravas to kill the Abhimanyu. So it was a part of strategy because it was, if you're talking about as was Arjuna was, he lost his mind. He was under the ethical turmoil whether to go with that battlefield, whether to do this battle, perform the battlefield or not. But still, it was not the lack of knowledge and skill on the part of Arjun, but he was stuck somewhere. He was stuck somewhere. And then we also stuck somewhere. And then we get rid of that particular. We need a guide. We need a moral support who could get out of our this kind of the moral stuck. So it was very well known by each Arjunas, even the Kauravas and the Pandavas, that once we are going in the battlefield, we are going to lose on our end and they are going to lose on their end. So it was very clear. And that was, detachment was there. That was a detachment. We when we read the Gita, then we learn so many things that our body is mortal, but the soul is immortal, and that was the things we have learned it out. So that was not the system of the failure. That was a not whole conclusion. That was the partial hearing at the bomb of the Subhadra. That what listened by the Abhimanyu was insufficient. No, it was not. It was just the circumstances. Everything is written by the destiny. So if we can correlate it with the better examples today in the today's scenario, we can learn from that example. Ma'am, I'm done on my part.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. It's a very clear explanation.
Yeah. Thank you, ma'am.
Nandini?
Thank you so much. Thank you for your active participation. Dear participants, kindly switch on your cameras for, for a virtual photo session. I request all the participants to switch on your cameras. Thank you, everyone. I now invite our moderator, Ms. M. Esther, Assistant Professor, PG and Research Department of English, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Thank you, Nandini. As we come to the end of this insightful session, I thank the Almighty for guiding us and blessing us with the opportunity to learn and grow together through this enriching faculty development program. I express my heartfelt gratitude to Dr. Achi Dubey for a truly enlightening session on ethics, dharma, and decision making. Mahabharata insights for the digital generation. Ma'am, your insights into how ancient wisdom can guide modern decision making have given us much to reflect upon. Thank you for sharing your valuable time, knowledge, and experience with us. I would like to sincerely thank our secretary, Sister Ignatius Mary, for her constant encouragement and support in promoting academic initiatives like this FDP. My respectful thanks to our principal, Dr. Fatima Mary, for her guidance and leadership and for creating an environment that encourages continuous learning and academic excellence. I extend my sincere thanks to our head of the department, Dr. Kristi Shanti, and Dr. Saira Banu, Associate Professor, for their continuous support and encouragement in all our academic activities. I extend my appreciation to the organizers and coordinators of this program for their thoughtful planning and dedicated efforts in making each session meaningful and impactful. Special thanks to the technical team and support staff who work behind the scenes to ensure everything ran smoothly. And finally, my sincere thanks to all the participants for your active presence and engagement, which truly adds value to every session. Thank you all once again.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you
May
so
I
much.
now request the participants to turn on.
Thank you.
Dear participants, the feedback form link is available in the chat box. Please make sure to complete it. I request all the participants to fill the feedback form. The link is posted in the chat box. Thank you all. We look forward to your continued engagement in the upcoming sessions. Wishing you a productive evening ahead. Thank you.
Disconnect the call for you.